Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Sheroes Unlimited Behind the Book. I am Jaynie Morris, founder of BoomerBabesLife and Chief Experience Officer. I have recently been told that is my new title at BoomerBabesLife. So yeah, look out for some crazy experiences coming your way at BoomerBabesLife. Everything at our website, BoomerBabesLife.com. Check it out if you haven't already, but that's not what we're here about today. Sheroes Unlimited Behind the Book, wherever you listen to us or wherever you're watching on your favorite streaming device and of course YouTube channel. As you know, when we do these episodes, we always bring on ordinary women doing extraordinary things in their writing. We talk about books that we've read, that we're loving, and that we really want you to have a look at. But what we'd like to do is we like to dig a little deeper and get behind the book and talk to the author. So I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome our author today, Sofia Gilinas. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Jaynie. Wonderful to see you. Wonderful to be here.
Now, we're excited to talk about your debut book. But before we do, we want to give a little bit of an insight to our audience about who you are. So you were born in Greece?
I was actually born in Germany by Greek parents who migrated to Australia when I was 5 in the 1970s. My mum passed away when I was very young. I'm the eldest of 5 younger siblings, so I became a mother at a very young age. And back then I wasn't allowed to go to school. I had to stay home and cook and clean and look after the siblings. So I matured a lot faster than many children my age because I had so many responsibilities. But I had a big chip on my shoulder because I'd never been to school. So that was half the reason why it took me so long to write the first book. Because I thought I didn't have the writing skills and this and that and the other, and it took me a long time, but I overcame all that with your help as well, and I eventually wrote the book, so it was a long time coming, but it's a combination of lots of things that happened throughout my life, going through so many experiences and coming to a point where a lot of information and wisdom and knowledge was stored in my psyche, and it was an outlet. It was so easy. It just flowed when it was time to happen. Yeah.
So we're talking about your debut book. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my life's purpose? Enlightenment and spiritual growth. Now let's go back then to what you mentioned before about when you unfortunately lost your mother at an early age, and then of course you were thrown into the role of being a mother to all of your siblings. What was it like for you then when you were you know, you couldn't go to school? So how did you find your personal development and your confidence and everything at that particular point in time? How did you find that to develop to where you are now?
It was very hard. The first couple of years I was in survival mode, trying to survive, trying to learn how to do everything, to be a mum, to do all the stuff that we're supposed to do as an adult. I was trying to do them at an 8, 10, 12-year-old age. It wasn't easy, it was very difficult, but I just had to survive. It was either I survive and look after these children, or, you know, there was nobody else. So it was just me. So there was no boo-hoo, poor me. It was just get out there and get the job done and look after them. And it was hard, yeah, it was hard work. But through that, it molded me. And you could go either way, go very wild and angry and what have you, or sit down and reflect and realize and learn from the teachings that you've experienced, which is what I did, and take them on board. And as I'm growing, I was very fortunate. I had my brothers and sisters I raised, but then I had a second family. I had 7 children of my own that I raised as well. So I did 2 generations of child rearing. So I did that lot, and then I did my second lot and learned a hell of a lot along the way. Now I'm a grandmother, I've got 3 grandbabies. I'm 54 years young, so I've had many years of experience in my life, and every single part of it has shaped the person I am today. Every person that comes into our reality has come into it for a reason. to teach you something, to put you through some hardship that will teach you something, to love you, to do different things in life, which is what we're here for the experiences, nothing else. Yeah.
Sophia, one of the things that I have learned about you is that you're very humble. And as you mentioned there before, not only did you raise your own siblings as a family number one, but then of course you had your own 7 children, and of course your 3 grandbabies, as you've just mentioned there as well. But you're also a very successful businesswoman, and you're a self-made businesswoman. Can you tell us a little bit about how that all evolved?
I was very fortunate. Not having gone to school, I wasn't taught what I can't do. I was never told you can't do this, you can't do that. So I was there thinking that I'm invisible, I can do anything I want. So I went out there, and at a very young age, my father was working a little bit with manufacturing and making garments at home and what have you. I'd pick up scraps of fabric and start designing and creating. And over the years, I grew some large manufacturing plants in Melbourne, working for fashion labels, working for the government, working for all sorts. Started my own label called 7 Souls, which was a very hard job because at the time I couldn't find a name. I was trying to pick all the children's initials to make a beautiful name, and then at night it just came to me, you've been blessed with 7 souls, so 7 souls it was, and I did that. And I think no fear, just go and try things. For every one of us, a lot of us come into our age where we're 40, 45, 50, and we need a change of scenery, a change of things, and go out there and just try it. The worst thing that can happen is you can fail, but there's no failure in life. What you'll actually learn is that you're actually accumulating wisdom and knowledge. You're learning more. And the great thing is that you won't have any regrets tomorrow. So when I grow old, I can say that anything I put my mind to, I actually tried it and tried it and tried it. So instead of sitting back and procrastinating, it's a beautiful feeling to go out there and try, experience life. That's what we're here for, to experience it.
Exactly.
I'm jumping from topic to topic. It's what's coming to
me.
me.
No. It's perfect, and it leads us right into your debut book.
Yeah.
So who am I? Why am I here? And what is my life's purpose? Now, tell us what made you want to write this, to start this?
I also got involved with beauty pageants. The reason I got involved with beauty pageant is Mrs. pageant, so women from 25 to about 45. In that age is where women, they're going into relationships, they're having children, they're going through breakups and all these things that we go through. And in that period, they forget about themselves. So it was a beautiful opportunity for me to actually empower and teach and work with women, which is my passion. I love doing that. Having been through so much, I can see where they're coming from, what they're going through, what stage they are in life, and it was easy for me to help. I found that I'm repeating the same questions, the same information. Most of the women, it's similar things that they need. So that was my perception, that who am I, why am I here, what's my life's purpose. Once you get rid of all those issues, then you can go down to the root of what really each woman wants, which is to teach them to self-love, to teach them to respect themselves, to love themselves, and going back to who we really are so that we can grow as a being. So once you get rid of all those layers of information that we all need, it gives them room to be able to grow and experience life and come out on top of it and start enjoying it and being every moment of every day, which is an art that every one of us needs to learn, because life's too short. We're only here for a short time.
And why do you think then, at the moment, in this time that we're having this discussion today, the world is in the middle of a global pandemic. And there, in particular, we're here in Australia, you're in Victoria,
yes.
And which is the Australian hotspot at the moment as well. There is a lot of heightened fear and concern. What advice would you give, especially us women over 50, what advice would you give them right now to be able to deal with that on a simple level?
To get rid of the fear.
The fear.
Love conquers all. So go into a place of being and of love, and the fear will dissipate. Fear is it's one of our most damaging and one of our traits that delays our growth the most, because most of the things we do are because we fear the change, we fear going into a relationship, we fear this, we fear that. If we can eliminate fear and just be, because when you turn internally, there is no fear. We actually create the fear. So when we turn inwards and we look at ourselves and we derive from the power and strength of the being that we truly are, you're invisible. You can do anything, you can create anything. Your thoughts create your reality, and it's proven to you every single day that you are living on this earth. So if we can get rid of the fear and go back to being present in the heart, because if you're present in the moment and in your heart, there is no fear. When we allow it, so it's our creation, and just as easily as we create it, we can get rid of it. So if we can eliminate the fear in our life, it changes everything. It's a game changer. Another thing with the lockdown, I think it was actually a blessing. A lot of people haven't realized how disconnected families were. I've watched many families, and yes, they have their children, they drop them off to school, they're there for 10, 12 hours a day, whatever they are. Over the weekends, they're doing the sports, they're doing this, that, the other. They haven't actually had the time to sit and live with their children and educate their children and physically bond and be the teachers and be the giving their children the wisdom and knowledge that they need from their parent, not from the school teachers, and the education and teaching them. And I was fortunate enough to be up in the Grampians quite a while ago before all this happened. And a lot of the children were very, as children are today, disrespectful and not as with properly mannered and ways. And after all this has happened and we went for another trip, the children are completely different. They've had the opportunity to stay at home with their mothers, to be told off, to be taught, to be. So I think it's a beautiful thing. Families are reconnecting. That's my experience. Families are reconnecting, especially families with children, and you know what I mean. So I think it's a blessing in disguise in many ways.
It's really interesting that you should say that, because in conversations with other BoomerBabesLife members of our community as well, we're starting to hear a lot of that reconnecting, the positives out of this challenging time, and you've just identified one very powerful one.
That's my perception. That's what I've seen, and I thought it was a blessing in disguise. Yes, it's hard times, and yes, we can't go out, but you know what? We've all got our health. We've all connected. We've got food to eat. We can go for our walks daily. So we should be grateful for the things that we have. And if we're grateful for those things, they will improve and more will come.
Yeah, exactly. Great point. Now, your book, we're getting back to your debut book here. Yes. One of the things that we love, and one of the things that some members of our BoomerBabesLife community have come back and said, is that it's so, in every word, they're feeling very connected. When you were writing this book, were you thinking about that, or did you just let it flow?
I'm a spiritual being, all right? I believe there's a vast creative energy that's created the heavens and earth and every one of us. So when you are allowed to tap into it, and each and every one of us, every person, male, female, child, adult, black, white, doesn't matter what you are, we all have the same amount of soul within us. And when you connect with that soul part, which is your consciousness or who you really are, what we've come into this earth with, the body is an outer shell that remains here, but that is a part that we carry forever. It's eternal, it never dies, and we go back to where we come from with it. When you connect with that, the information is vast, not just for me, for any one of you out there listening. When you need answers, questions answered, just reconnect. Be still and silent and connected. You will feel. It'll speak to you. It'll speak to your mind. You'll get feelings and emotions, and it'll reinforce what you need to know. So any information you need is already there, present within you. So all I did was sat and switch the world off and start, and it flowed. I'm very fortunate. I thought it was because I hadn't gone to school as a child, and I allowed that voice, when I heard it, to instantly come out of my mouth and speak it. So I don't actually allow it to go through my brain and get filtered. So it's a clear channel. So when the information comes, actually, as a young girl, I was quite wise for my age, and I always get elderly people coming up to me, sitting next to me and asking me, you know, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And I used to blurt out, oh, this isn't your problem. Your problem is you haven't forgiven your mother or this, that. And I'm sitting there going, what am I asking this person? They asked me for a different completely problem. I'm telling them something else. It wasn't until years later that I realized it was actually channeling information, and what I was giving them was what the soul actually needed. So it was written from the soul. It was written from spirit. I tried to keep my ego and my mind out of it completely so that it felt like it's food for the soul. So when the reader reads it, it should go directly in and resonate with them, because it's our truth, it's our makeup, it's who we are. So if that's done, then my duty is done. If my ego is coming to play throughout it, which I tried to keep it out of there, you will pick it up as well, because it won't resonate with you. Again, whoever does read the book, please take whatever feels true to you, because everyone's truth is different. It's got to resonate, it's got to feel true to you. If it doesn't, let it go. You're either not ready for it, you might never need it, you've already gone beyond that point, or it's not relevant at this time of your life right now. Leave it and just take the bits that resonate, not just from my book, anything we read in life. I had a big challenging part of me, because I used to read lots of meaningful books, and certain part of it would go against the grain. And yet there was so much wisdom in the book, and I put it down because of that particular bit, which was a big mistake, because I missed out on so many other beautiful gems that were throughout the book. So take what does resonate with you and what feels true, and chuck away all the rest, because that's what's true for you in this moment, in this present moment, in this time right now. Yeah.
And I think another great, important point too is that, you know, we often, quite often will read a book and then we'll put it away. And then later on, you know, a couple of months or maybe a year or even a couple of years later, we'll see it and we'll go, oh, and you read it again. And all of a sudden you read and you see and you hear different messages in that book every time you read it too. So have you found that?
I've experienced it recently. I had a couple of books just lying around years and years ago that I had picked up years ago, and opened them up and thought, nah, this is not for me, put it away, put it away. Years and years later, I opened them up and there were some beautiful messages and gems, but I was way too young back then. I was still enthralled in raising my babies and doing things, and life was different. And today when I've settled down and I sat and I opened these and I said, oh my God, I had these for like 20 years and I thought it was, for some reason I never threw them away, but opening them up now, the gems and the messages that come out of it was amazing. So if it doesn't resonate right now, leave it, and in a few years time pick it up again. But most messages we need to experience to grow into them. So people can tell us all they want, this is this is this. At the end of the day, it's through experience that we get to feel them and believe them and make it resonate with us. Yeah.
The title that you've chosen of your book, Who Am I, Why Am I Here, and What is My Life's Purpose? Those three questions are pretty much questions that we ask ourselves on a regular basis as well.
Everyone. I found everyone, and being involved with the pageant industry, every girl coming in with tears, you know, why am I here? And what am I supposed to be doing? Am I doing it right? Where am I going after here? And all those questions that everybody, whether it's a woman, man, a child, everyone has the same question. So that's why I thought I'd start off with that and cover those main points. Once you've got your head around that, it makes life more effortless. And it allows us to leave room to follow the joy that's in our soul, instead of sitting in our head and being worried and putting the fear and all the lack, the need, and all the other physical stuff that we have in this reality. Once you get rid of those, you can open up your heart and you can actually be, and it's quite an enjoyable pace. It's a privilege to be here. People don't realize how hard they've fought to actually be here. And once you're here, don't waste it. Enjoy as much as you can of it. You know, try everything you can. Exactly. It's a beautiful life. There's no test at the end of it. There's no exams. It's just go out there. And so what if it didn't work? You've got more wisdom, more knowledge. You've learned a few more things, and keep going. Every failure is actually a success. It's not a failure. People don't realize.
Exactly. Sofia, in the next 12 months, what's exciting for you? What are you excited about for the next 12 months for you?
I'm passionate about empowering women, as I've said, because once they're empowered, the children they're raising are going to be a different generation. When the mother's confident, self-loving and powerful within herself, stands up for herself, it'll eliminate the abuse, because when you're strong and powerful, you will never ever allow anyone to come in and take away your dignity and abuse you in any way, shape or form. You'll stand up like a tigress and you'll protect this beautiful goddess that you are. Once you've done that, that little child sitting there will watch that, and she will never ever grow up to go into any relationship that's abusive. So if that is something that can come, oh, I've got goosebumps. If that is something that can come through to younger women when they need it, my job is done. So that's my driving passion in this reality. Yeah, so I've come here for that purpose. I have gone through it, and if I can explain it in a way where they can overcome it painlessly and quickly and come into their power of their own, that's a beautiful journey.
That's wonderful. If you had an 8-year-old Sofia sitting in front of you right now, what advice would you give her?
Oh, my 8-year-old self never played, so I'd give her the advice to go out there and play to your heart's content. And an 8-year-old would never understand this, but to come and connect with who she is, because the minute she connects in here, instead of expecting all the information to find it outside there, is the minute that she'll be all powerful. Unfortunately, we teach them that their power is outside of them, and they're constantly looking for validation from outside sources. Even our religions, everything tells us that everything is outside of us and you've got to work so hard for it. When you direct the children back into who they really are and they find their power and strength, it's going to be a different breed of child that grows up. They're going to be all powerful, all strong, with no fear. So a different generation. So if we can accomplish that, it would be a wondrous generation growing up.
That's beautiful. Sofia, this is your debut book. Who am I? Why am I here? And what is my life's purpose? Where I'm expecting that, well, this really is the door opener for us. So we're expecting another book in the near future. Is that right?
Yes. When Spirit gives me the information, I will. Although there's a lot there. I was so relieved when I wrote that, because I think I was carrying it around here for such a long time. And the moment I wrote it was, and now I've left room for more information to come through. So hopefully Spirit soon will give me more pearls of wisdom to be able to put on paper and hopefully share with everybody else. Yeah.
That's fabulous. Well, look, the book is Why Am I Here? Who am I? Sorry. Why am I here? And what is my life's purpose? Enlightenment and spiritual growth. It's available right now. All you need to do is to go to BoomerBabesLife.com, go to the shop at BoomerBabesLife.com, and under our book section for recommended reading, you will find it there. You can get your copy right now. So make sure you go to the website to get that. All of the information for where you can get it, what it's all about, is below this podcast right now. And we want you, we really want you to help us, girls, okay? So if you're watching or listening to us right now, please share this podcast. Please share this YouTube channel interview of Sheroes Unlimited Behind the Book with Sofia right now. Share it, comment below, like it. Let's help get this fabulous book out. It's her debut book. Sofia, it's been absolutely fabulous having you as our very special guest today. Thank you so much for sharing and giving us some insight.
Thank you, Jaynie. Thank you for having me. And I'd love to hear feedback from ladies that have read it, how it makes them feel, and any information they're willing to share. I'd love that.
Absolutely. Well, we will make sure that you get that, and we look forward to. And oh, by the way, if you want to get a little bit more of an insight on Sofia's business career that she's had so far, she was actually our cover story for our very first BoomerBabesLife Magazine. So again, go to BoomerBabesLife.com, go to magazines, you will see her there, and you can get a copy of that magazine for free. So all you need to do is follow all the instructions on the website for there, so you can read her story, because there's so much more to this gorgeous woman, equally as powerful as the fact that she is an author, I know you're going to really want to love to have a good dig into and find out about her. And we look forward to having you again on another episode in the future, Sofia. Thank you so much. And in the meantime, wherever you're streaming, listening to us, make sure, as I mentioned before, share this, like it, comment below, give us your feedback. And we look forward to having you again. Tune in to Sheroes Unlimited, Behind the Book, our fabulous series where we interview beautiful, amazing female authors and their books. I'm Jaynie Morris. I'm the Chief Experience Officer and founder of BoomerBabesLife, and it's been an absolute delight having your company. So in the meantime, wherever you are in this amazing, beautiful, fabulous world of ours, I hope you have a beautiful day. Hi, I'm Jaynie Morris, founder and Chief Experience Officer at BoomerBabesLife. It's been our absolute pleasure having you listening in, tuning in to this latest podcast that we have created just for you. Gorgeous, amazing women over 50 around the world, because that's what BoomerBabesLife community is all about. Everything that we do, everything that we create, we have you in mind. We want to bring to you valuable content that helps inspire you, starts making you think a little bit more, helps empower you, helps to give you ideas and information that can help you. So if you've enjoyed this episode, which I'm sure that you have, we would love you to help us share it with the world. So please share this, please like, and of course comment, give us your feedback, send us all of your details, and let us know what you're thinking. And of course, if you've got any topics that you would like us to highlight in any of our podcasts, please let us know that as well. Just send an email to info@boomerbabeslife.com.au. And of course, check everything else out at our website, boomerbabeslife.com. Everything that you need to know, every tool, every video, every podcast. We've got a fabulous shop there that's got some brilliant inspirational books and audios for you as well. And of course, also at our website at boomerbabeslife.com, you'll find out how you can get your latest issue of our BoomerBabesLife magazine for women over 50. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, and wherever you are in this amazing world of ours, please have an absolutely fabulous day.